Good morning, Seahawks. Today is Tuesday, February 9th.
Please stand for the pledge, the school creed, and moment of silence. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. As a coastal Seahawk, I will show respect for everyone. I will be open-minded. I will accept responsibility for my actions, and I will reflect on my choices. Please remain standing for a moment of silence. Today is February 9th, Pizza Day. Did you know that pepperoni is the most popular preferred by 36% of the people? More pizzas are sold on Super Bowl Sunday than any other day of the year. The first pizza was sold in Naples, Italy in 1738.
Today is an A Day. Every Monday and Tuesday are A Days.
This is Mr. Mahdi with your African American History Moment. And today we honor Dr. Charles R. Drew. Dr. Charles R. Drew was an African American surgeon who pioneered the methods of storing blood plasma for transfusion and organizing the first large-scale blood bank in the United States of America. Dr. Charles Drew was born on June 3rd, 1904 in Washington, D.C. He was an African American physician who developed ways to process and store blood plasma in blood banks. He directed the blood plasma programs for the United States and Great Britain during World War II, but resigned after a ruling that the blood of African Americans would be segregated from those of white Americans. Ironically, Dr. Charles R. Drew died on April 1st, 1950, because he was not allowed to receive a blood transfusion himself in an all-white hospital. But we still honor Dr. Charles R. Drew every time we donate blood and we think of him and his great accomplishments. Today, we honor Dr. Charles R. Drew.
Hello, Coastal Seahawks. Mrs. Prosper here to talk about a book that I just finished reading. I had seen A Curse So Dark and Lonely around, but I hadn't really thought too much about reading it because I read a lot of fantasies. But then the third book just came out and I heard a lot of good things about it, so I decided to read it. And I was really pleasantly surprised. So if you are a fan of urban fantasy and fairy tale retellings, this is definitely a book for you. We have the main character, Prince Ren, who has been cursed by an enchantress to live out his 18th season over and over again until he can make a woman fall in love with him. If he doesn't do that, then he turns into a beast and destroys his kingdom. Well, it's been 364 years and Prince Ren is pretty disappointed. Commander Gray is the only one left with Prince Ren in the castle, and he has the ability to time travel and goes to the current time, which in Washington, D.C., to kidnap a girl to bring back. But what happens is Harper, the other main character, sees this happening and decides to attack Commander Gray. Once she attacks him, she ends up getting thrust back into the kingdom with Prince Ren and Commander Gray. What really made this story work for me was the believability of Harper's character and how she had to try and navigate inside this new kingdom compared to where she currently lived in Washington, D.C., and how she just tells Prince Ren right up front that she is not going to be falling in love with him. But obviously what happens is she becomes friends with Prince Ren and Commander Gray and wants to help them escape the curse. So the dynamic of the friendship really worked for me in this story. There is a lot of choices that have to be made for the kingdom, for themselves. There's sword fighting, there's betrayal, there's magic. This book had a little bit of everything. I really enjoyed it, so much so that I actually, as soon as I closed the first book, I opened the second book, and I highly recommend this series. And if you'd like to see how you can read it, watch the next slide. All right, so if you'd like to read that book, you can go through its learning. You want to go to groups and select Coastal Middle School, which brings you to this page. Scroll down to the Sora icon. It's going to sign you directly in, and then you can type in the title of the book. And right now we have it as an ebook, and so you can read it right here.
Please remember there is still time to order your yearbook for this year, and we also need your picture to be placed in this year's yearbook. Please check our parent newsletter and social media, as well as links in its learning, how to order your yearbook and how to submit your picture. Deadlines are approaching, so do it fast.